Okay guys, this is Demo. I'm here. I'm just about to make my first rock roller for my Scx10. I have it mocked up here on a piece of stainless steel with my stainless steel tubing, which I've already measured out. And this is what I'm going to emulate right here, except this is the custom rock roller that I am going to be emulating. So I have the distance correct. It's about 81 millimeters from hole to hole here, which I have marked up here. What I'm using here are some magnets from Harbor Freight, and the magnets are holding the steel line, so it's really convenient. I am going to be using my brazing torch, braze these two joints together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my flux, and I should be editing this a little bit. I'll be applying my flux and then brazing everything up. I'll show you about the size flame that you need with this micro torch. So this is a silver solder flux. I didn't do it on this one, but I probably will with the next one. Usually I take sandpaper and just sand the joints before, just to get a nice clean, braze. Sometimes if it's not if the metal is not clean enough, it will not hold, or it won't. Actually, I should say, if the metal isn't clean enough, it will not flow into the joint properly. So I want to get the flux all the way in, all the way around. This is the first time I've ever used these magnets from Harbor Freight, and they're pretty sweet so far as I can tell. They're holding everything really nicely for me. So, okay, so I'm going to strike up my brazing torch. Normally when I'm soldering things for my dental lab, I use a flame about this long, about an inch. When we are soldering things for brazing brake line, you need much more flame. So I'm going to get this out to about there. And when I apply the oxygen, it's going to actually have a nice hissing sound. So let's see what we can do here. I'm just turning on my oxygen here. There's my nice hissing sound. That's going to get me up to temperature quick enough, and I'm going to be adding in some silver solder here. So let me see what I can do here. I'm going to move this slightly off my bench here. And what you'll see is the flux will start to bubble a little bit, and once it starts getting kind of maple syrupy looking, that's when you start adding in your silver solder. Right, like that. And that looks like a pretty good join there. I'm going to add just a little bit at different temperatures so I can actually fill in some of the little gaps that are right there. That looks pretty nice. Not too shabby. Alright, joint number one done. The magnets have held up pretty good here. Hopefully I didn't demagnetize them by heating them up too much. Now, let's see here, how are we doing with temperature? We're doing good. I'm going to move this end off just so it's not blocking the flame as I hit the camera. Alright, let's see if you guys can get a shot of this here. Here we go. Just keeping the flame moving at all times, so I'm heating everything, not just one spot. The flux is starting to change. Start adding in my solder, my silver. This is dental grade solder, so it's actually way more expensive than it should be. Alright. Alright, you just slightly heat it to get that nice glossy look to the solder weld. You don't always have to do this right away, because you can always come back and basically you can tack things first and then come back once things are mounted up and more stable. So I'm going to turn off my oxygen first, and then my gas second. Alright guys, that is my number one rock roller there. I'm going to pause the video here. Once it cools off, I'll put it onto the vehicle just to see what it looks like. It's my very first step into making my exo cage for my Honcho. Okay guys, so I have my first rock roller, and it is all brazed up. It looks pretty good. It's got some nice solder welds through here, some brazing welds. Maybe not the smoothest on the bottom here, but we go ahead and put this into the stock location of the other one. Push it right in here like this. Try the body on here. And I know that I'm going to have to bend these up just slightly to meet the body, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. If I can find the body holes, that would be nice. There we go. And that looks pretty sweet. So you can kind of take a look at this. Like I said, I'm going to bend these up just slightly to meet the body, a little bit more here in the front. So this is my first custom rock roller that I've made for this truck. I may be making an exo cage back here. I do know that I'm going to solder or weld off of this here to bring some line up through here and mimic my front grille. I'm going to be reproducing all of these little intricate little spaces here with metal, which is going to be pretty cool, I think. So this is the first step in my adventure. You guys are along for the ride here in making my Honcho into the beast that I think it should be. Well, Rancho, actually, because I think the Honcho is a great truck. And anyway, we'll see you guys next time.